The Tragedy of Thunderfoot. It is somewhat of a miracle in itself that someone like Thunderfoot could become so popular on YouTube. That someone who deals with complex, abstract, and controversial concepts could gain nearly 160,000 followers and nearly 43.5 million video views on a website that brings the American people the Tootin' bathtub baby cousins. Although I disagree with Thunderfoot's theological and political views, I appreciate how Thunderfoot calls out charlatans and liars who masquerade as Christians while they are truly hypocrites. Thunderfoot's hard-hitting campaigns against censorship and DMCA abuse are also brutal but necessary. But along with the miracle of Thunderfoot, there is also a great tragedy. Thunderfoot's knowledge in various fields has led him to the correct conclusion that human beings are a social species. However, he then makes the giant mistake of assuming that that means the rights of individuals must be squelched for the collective good. This is perhaps best displayed in his debates with the brilliant libertarian YouTuber How the World Works, aka Lee Doran.
A socialist requirement from a social species for their communal benefit, as are arguably maintained government, law enforcement, currency maintenance, education, infrastructure such as roads and rail, hospitals, healthcare, and national defense. I mean, it's tautological that all societies have socialistic rules for what the society perceives to be its communal benefits. After all, without society, there are no rights, and those rights are decided by the collective.
This pro-collectivist, anti-individualist mindset harbored by Thunderfoot is further shown in this video where he attacks an anti-vaccine libertarian.
The benefits of social interactions can only be purchased with the limitations of the individual.
Now, I could disprove the claims that police and firefighters are socialist, e pluribus unum is a collectivist slogan, etc. But that has already been done brilliantly, and for the sake of time, I'd like to strike a little closer to home. One of our most fundamental individual rights is freedom of speech, which you obviously hold dear. What if our beneficent governmental overlords decided, for the good of the people of course, that anti-Muslim or anti-Quran expression incited jihad against our country, and, for the sake of the collective good, decided that all anti-Islamic speech should be banned? What would happen to Draw Muhammad Day and countless videos on your channel that the Taliban and Al-Qaeda might find offensive? You see, as soon as you base individual rights on something as arbitrary as the collective good, you may as well say that no individual inalienable rights exist. They are invoked and revoked at the whims of leaders. If you value any rights above man's control, as I think you do, you should seriously reconsider the roles of the collective and the individual. The economic system of individual liberty is laissez-faire capitalism, a system you obviously don't support. But you fail to realize a fundamental fact. Science without capitalism is just as worthless as capitalism without science. Now, whenever anyone makes an absolute statement like that, they open themselves to attacks which point out specific instances where that categorical declaration is wrong. So I admit that there are some exceptions, and I would love for you to point them out to me. But, as a general rule, I believe my assertion holds. Capitalism transforms the academic knowledge of chemistry, biology, and physics into the goods and services which support our high standard of living. The technology industry, symbolized by Silicon Valley, which has produced computer technology that boggles the mind, is also one of the least regulated sectors of our economy. It took the knowledge of quantum mechanics, the chemistry of elements such as germanium and silicon, and the individual ambition, curiosity, and self-interest of Bell Labs scientists to create the transistor that would revolutionize the tech industry. And the incentives set by capitalism guided the evolution of these advancements, not some collective hive mind. Why did the US, in 1999, produce more than twice the pharmaceuticals as its nearest competitor, Japan? Because we still live in a relatively free market economy without socialized medicine and price controls. From GadgetCrave.com's 10 most important technologies of modern world history, 6 out of 10 of those technologies were invented by Americans. The atomic bomb, though not first invented by Americans, was first produced by them. Furthermore, Americans have made great improvements on foreign technologies. My point is that capitalism makes science leap out of the textbooks and universities and into the lives of everyday Americans. Thunderfoot, I appreciate your videos, but get your priorities into order. If you really support what you say you support, become a champion of individual rights and free markets just as you have championed atheism and evolutionism. Then maybe your greatest tragedy will become your greatest victory.